What if I told you that between the years of 2015 through 2019, there were a total of 1,300 concussions among 1,000 players in the NFL? Would that change your perception on how football works and how dangerous the game can be in a way? Players who play the sport of football are ultimately the ones who are paying the ultimate price. In this video, I want to explain the impact of concussions on football players and how they can severely change a player's life for the worse during and after they play football. I bet everyone in the audience has probably at least seen a football game. They've probably at least seen a player get carted off the field for some really bad head injury. Concussions are one of the worst injuries you can get in the sport of football. They affect your brain and they make everything harder for you on a daily basis. I would know this because as a freshman in high school, I played football, and some of my teammates, they got concussions almost like weekly, and they would have to sit out at least a couple weeks for their brain to heal. So what I want to talk about in this video is the rate of concussions per year in the NFL. And I also want to talk about what a concussion is. And lastly, I want to talk about how concussions can lead to something bigger after football. So, according to Vox.com, there are approximately at least half a concussion a game per player. Or not per player, but just half a concussion in general per game in the NFL. Most concussions involve an impact by another player's helmet. Some involve other regions of the body, and some involve impact to the ground. It has been reported that some of the concussions have involved loss of consciousness. Okay, so next I want to talk about what a concussion is and how it affects a player. According to what a lifetime of playing football can do to the human brain by Vox as well, a concussion is a traumatic brain injury, or TBI. It is caused by anything from a bump to a hit to something that just affects your head, and it just affects your brain. The sudden movement of that can cause the brain to bounce around in your skull, creating changes in your chemical systems in your brain. Medical doctors and such call concussions a mild sort of brain injury, but if you keep getting them over and over and over again, it can lead to something way bigger in the long run. In 2011, according to NFL.com, NFL set rules to determine whether an athlete who's taken a powerful hit and sustained a concussion will be benched or sent back into the game. The guidelines include checking the player's symptoms, attention, memory, and balance starting immediately on the sidelines. Players are their own worst enemy when they get concussions because they are so eager to get back on the field and start playing again that they'll rush their healing process, and they're more likely to get hurt again because they haven't healed properly. According to, obviously, football, concussions occur mostly in practice, not games, by Jordan M. Davidson, the article in everydayhealth.com. Concussions, yes, they occur mostly in practice because players hit harder in practice, and then they're just fighting for their jobs in practice, and that's when you really show the coaches what you have in practice to play in the actual game. So that's when concussions really happen. Yeah, so lastly, I want to talk about how concussions can lead to a more serious disease. So there's this thing called CTE, which is chronic traumatic encephalopathy. It is a degenerative brain disease caused by repetitive hits to the brain or skull. Usually, CTE is not about a single hit to the head or a single concussion. It's from multiple concussions over a career. And so there have been multiple players who have been diagnosed after they have died from CTE. According to What to Know About CTE in Football by Ben Schippold from the New York Times, there have been countless players, including Junior Seau, who played for the Chargers, Aaron Hernandez, who played for the Patriots. Those two are the most notable names. Junior Seau took his own life from CTE. They found afterwards that he had a really bad case of CTE. And obviously, I hope everyone knows about Aaron Hernandez and what he did, because he obviously killed someone and ended up in jail. His whole career was lost because of CTE. It changed his whole personality, and he ended up killing himself in jail. So, in conclusion, football is a great game which teaches young men the fundamentals of life. It teaches hard work, working as a team, and most importantly, it is fun. But like anything else, it has its cons. Next time you are watching football, do not get mad if your favorite player gets taken out of the game because he has suffered a concussion. I know you want your team to win, but you gotta think of the human element of the game and think of players' health instead of your own selfish reasons.